What happens when a young quarterback is born carrying the weight of a legendary name? This is the story of Shedeur Sanders, a rising star carving out a legacy far beyond his famous last name. Shedeur grew up in the shadow of Deion Sanders, one of the most electrifying athletes in sports history. Yet, instead of relying on his dad's reputation, Shedeur forged his own path with discipline and determination. Unlike his flashy father, Shedeur plays with a calm, calculated edge, studying the game with a focus that sets him apart from an early age. From high school phenom to college standout, doubts and criticisms tried to define him, but he refused to be boxed into a family legacy. This is more than a story of a name or a father-son connection. It is a tale of grit, leadership, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. As the football world watches eagerly, Shedeur is proving that he is not just next in line. He is a force all his own. Born into greatness, but facing expectations. Shedeur Sanders grew up in the shadow of Deion Sanders, one of the most electrifying athletes in sports history. Yet, instead of relying on his dad's reputation, Shedeur forged his own path with discipline and determination. Unlike his flashy father, Shedeur plays with a calm, calculated edge, studying the game with a focus that sets him apart from an early age. In the Sanders household, fame didn't mean favoritism, it meant expectations. Deion wasn't just a dad, he was Coach Prime, always teaching, always pushing. But here's the twist, Deion never forced football on his kids. Shedeur picked up the ball on his own terms, and when he did, it was clear the kid had talent. He was different, not flashy like his dad, more calm, calculated, and cerebral. While Deion danced in end zones, Shedeur studied coverages. While primetime made headlines, Shedeur quietly mastered his craft. But being Deion's son wasn't without challenges. Some coaches and fans assumed he was overrated, a product of privilege. Of course he's good, they'd say, look who his dad is. Others doubted if he could succeed without his father. Yet, Shedeur thrived under pressure, learning early to embrace the doubters. He knew he'd have to work twice as hard to be seen as more than just a famous last name. And that's exactly what he did. On every field, at every level, Shedeur didn't ask for the spotlight, but when it found him, he was ready. High school stardom amid doubt. At Trinity Christian School, Shedeur Sanders didn't just start, he dominated, throwing for nearly 170 touchdowns and leading his team to 3 consecutive state titles. His footwork was crisp, his timing sharp, and his leadership unshakable. Over 4 seasons, he racked up over 12,000 passing yards, a testament to his elite talent. Still, despite these jaw-dropping numbers and team success, skepticism surrounded him. Some coaches and fans assumed his skills were a product of privilege, attributing his success mainly to his famous last name. They questioned if he could shine without his father's shadow looming over him. When it came time to pick a college, offers rolled in from programs like Florida Atlantic and Florida State. Yet, Shedeur surprised many by committing to Jackson State, a historically black college where his father, Deion Sanders, had just become head coach. Critics quickly labeled it a publicity stunt, doubting whether this move would help or hinder his chances in the NFL. But Shedeur saw beyond the noise. He wasn't chasing tradition. He was carving his own path, aiming to elevate not just himself, but an entire institution. By choosing Jackson State, he took a bold step toward building a unique legacy, one filled with purpose and vision. This was more than football, it was a statement. And it set the stage for the next chapter in his remarkable journey. Shining bright at Jackson State. As a freshman, Shedeur Sanders exploded onto the scene, racking up over 3,200 yards and 30 touchdowns, earning the Jerry Rice Award as the top freshman in the FCS, and leading Jackson State to an impressive 11-2 record along with a SWAC championship, a feat that helped put HBCU football back into the national spotlight. But it wasn't just about the numbers or the titles. Shedeur brought a professionalism that mirrored the NFL, studying film like a pro, demanding precision from his teammates and executing with calm under pressure. While others fell apart in big games, Shedeur steadily stood tall, delivering when it mattered most, Off the field, he used his platform to uplift HBCU football and became one of the most prominent athletes in the NIL space, securing deals with brands like Gatorade, Beats by Dre, and Tom Brady's by Brand. Yet despite the media attention and endorsements, he stayed grounded and focused on the bigger picture, knowing that his journey was just beginning and that there was much more to prove. In 2022, he followed up with an even stronger season, throwing for over 3,700 yards and 40 touchdowns, securing back-to-back SWAC titles and setting new school records. More importantly, Shedeur made the doubters pay attention by the end of his time at Jackson State. He was no longer seen as just a coach's kid, but as one of the best quarterbacks in the country, regardless of level, and he wasn't done yet. Power 5 Challenge at Colorado. In 2023, Shedeur followed his father Deion Sanders to the University of Colorado, stepping into the bright lights of Power 5 football, a much bigger stage than Jackson State. From the very first game, he made an immediate impact, throwing for 510 yards against TCU, breaking the school's single-game passing record. Week after week, Shedeur impressed, displaying elite decision-making and an unshakable presence in the pocket. Despite playing behind one of college football's most sacked defensive lines, he kept getting back up, delivering precise strikes, rallying his team, and showing the heart of a true warrior. The media couldn't help but notice his trademark wristwatch flex, a confident signature move, though critics tried to use it against him. But Shedeur played with swagger, never crossing into arrogance, confidence, not cockiness. By season's end, despite Colorado's struggles as a team, Shedeur had cemented himself as one of the top quarterbacks in college football. His stat line is proof: 3,230 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions. More than numbers, it was his toughness and leadership that won hearts. He'd gone toe-to-toe with some of the nation's best programs and thrived, refusing to be defined by his last name and proving he belongs on this stage. Mental game, mechanics, and intangibles. Shedeur's greatness goes beyond stats. He sees the field like a chess game, processes pressure with sharp decisions, and throws with a smooth, precise touch. More than mechanics, his grit, relentless study habits, and leadership set him apart. He thrives under scrutiny and embraces every challenge as a chance to prove himself. Coaches admire his calm under fire, knowing he makes smart decisions quickly, a quality that NFL scouts drool over. His mechanics are near flawless, with a smooth release and tight spiral, allowing him to deliver from deep bombs down the sideline to quick slants over the middle with equal precision. It's this consistency that builds trust in his teammates and coaches alike. But what really sets Shedeur apart are his intangibles. His relentless work ethic, his unshakable confidence that never borders on arrogance, and his leadership that inspires those around him. He studies film like it's a religion, always looking for an edge, refining his craft day after day. When adversity hits, he doesn't flinch. Instead, he rises, using pressure to fuel his drive. This championship mindset, shaped by one of sport's fiercest competitors, Deion Sanders, is something no scouting report can measure. It's the perfect blend of brains, skill, and heart, qualities that mark him as a future star both on and off the field, eyeing the NFL and beyond. With the 2025 NFL Draft approaching, scouts are buzzing. Some compare him to Joe Burrow, and others see shades of Dak Prescott, a mobile, intelligent leader who commands the huddle. If he continues his upward trajectory at Colorado, he's a legitimate top 10 pick, maybe even top 5. And let's not forget, Shedeur has something no scouting report can measure: a championship mindset molded by one of the most competitive fathers in sports history. He's not just playing for himself, he's playing to change the narrative, and he's doing it one throw at a time. The road to the NFL won't be easy, with intense competition and high expectations. But Shedeur has shown resilience and determination unlike most. As the spotlight grows brighter, so does his resolve. Every practice, every game, and every challenge is a stepping stone toward greatness. The whispers of doubt have turned into conversations of potential, with analysts and fans eagerly watching his progress. Behind his confident swagger lies a player who embraces pressure, thrives on adversity, and leads with humility. His story is no longer about being the son of a Hall of Famer. It's about becoming a star in his own right. If he keeps this pace, the NFL will soon witness the rise of a quarterback ready to redefine legacy and impact the game for years to come. Shedeur Sanders' journey defies expectations, blending legacy and relentless drive. As the NFL draft looms, one thing's clear. This isn't just a story about a famous last name. It's about a star who refuses to be just a chapter in someone else's book. The road ahead will test him, but Shedeur has shown he rises with every challenge. His mental toughness, precise mechanics, and leadership set him apart from his peers. Scouts compare him to legends like Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott, but Shedeur is creating his own unique identity. This young quarterback has already proven he's more than a product of privilege or fame. He's a player with a championship mindset, molded by a fiercely competitive father, and a burning desire to change the game. Each throw he makes, each game he leads, rewrites the narrative that once doubted him. With the 2025 NFL Draft approaching, expectations are sky high. Yet Shedeur remains grounded, confident, and focused on what's next. His story reminds us that legacy is not just inherited. It's earned through grit, precision, and heart. As fans and scouts watch closely, one thing is undeniable. Shedeur Sanders isn't just next. He's now.